Welcome to Woke Mental Wellness presents Windy City Nihilism. This is a 12 Inner Demons homebrew campaign. Cinziak plays Romero Marcus, the targeted. Emrys plays Janessa Wallace, the human street medic. Blue plays Ruin, the social media vampire demon. And Cassie is the storyteller, playing the NPCs and the rest of the world. Windy City Nihilism is an urban horror podcast series. We do not shy away from touchy topics in the politics of horror, mental health, games, and life as a person of targeted identities. Series-wide content warnings include violence, manipulation, state surveillance, police, player conflict, gentrification, racism, unwanted romantic gestures, anti-Blackness, sexism, tension, body paralysis, trauma, monstrous forms, complicated relationships, sex, toxic work environments, death, hopelessness, blood, Eldrich horror, colonization, and existential crisis and dread. Please take care of yourself as you listen. And remember, hope and resistance do best in community. Welcome back to Woke Mental Wellness presents Windy City Nihilism. Last time, our group was trying to get the second seal. Romero and Janessa were able to reunite. Ruin was able to partially reunite with Alexis, who seems to be struggling in this space. Janessa, Romero, you are at the scene of a tragedy. Janessa is on the ground sobbing. Romero, you are trying to get through to her. The coalition of Amina, Ola, and Floyd have convinced the police to allow the ambulance through. What are the two of you doing?
Do I see Ola and Amina?
Yes, you do.
I think as I see them walk up, too little, too late for Alex, I am overcome with rage in this moment. I feel my grief become tinged with anger, and I get up and I whip around to face them. This is what you wanted? This is what all of your half-ass outreach efforts adds up to. You did this, and now you show up too little, too late again. To what? Make sure his parents can collect the body? Fuck both of you. Because for all you call me bitter and say that all I care about is purity, at the end of the day, I was right.
You say these things and you look at them and they are both crying. And Amina steps forward towards you and says, they may be able to save him still, but
he's dead, Amina. He's dead. I watched him die while they held me back. While I could have helped him, maybe I could have saved him, and they held me back and they made me watch him die. So save your maybe, because maybe's not gonna bring Alex back.
I have to have hope, Janessa.
Hope? We all have to have hope, and you choose to hope that the police will be decent after how many centuries of not being decent, instead of hoping that we can take care of each other, that there's a better option than continuing to try the one that continues to fail. That's what I put my hope in. So if you're just gonna keep hoping that the police one day wake up and stop killing our kids, then you and I have nothing to say to each other. And I'm gonna try to push past her.
Make an attack.
Lord have mercy.
And in this moment, as you go to push her, take a bonus die.
Okay, that is a 3, a 4, and 2 8s.
You go to push her, and at first Ola moves forward and is like, hey, we shouldn't be fighting, and you have had enough of this. Tell me how you start taking your anger out on these two.
I'm so angry, but I'm also just still so deflated because the worst thing that could happen has happened. And it happened because two people that I trusted so deeply, who I cared for so much and who I thought understood, let me down. And they let me down in the worst possible way. And so I think there's not even like a physical manifestation of this. It's just like an emotional, like everything that Amina accused me of doing before is I'm doing it now. Like I just push past them. There's just a complete blanking out, disregard, nothing they say in this moment even registered. I just shove past them and I start making my way back to the coffee shop.
You shove them, and it feels good. Finally. Romero, you see dark wisps forming around Janessa as she pushes past these two awful people. Janessa, as you start making your way back towards the coffee shop, in your mind, you can't help but hear, but think, they caused this nightmare. Maybe they deserve more than just getting shoved.
I think I have that thought, right? And like I said to, Felix the other day, right? Like I'm not emotionally unaware. I know what I feel, right? And I choose sometimes in messy ways to disregard the emotional awareness that I do have. And I think in this moment, I feel that anger and I feel that desire to get retribution, to be punitive in this moment. And then I remember that that's what caused all this. Alex is dead because we live in a world that thrives on punishing perceived wrongs and slights, and actual wrongs and actual slights, and it doesn't get us fucking anywhere. And maybe they deserve to feel pain. And I think in this moment, my only regret is that these two, this Amina and this Ola, are not real. And they can't actually feel the pain that I feel right now.
And as you think about the only regret being that the real them can't feel this pain, there's just a slight shiver down your back as something in you, no, something next to you, something close that feels aligned with your thoughts in this moment, says, but they could. Do you want that to make their nightmares real?
Janessa?
Hey, I consider it for a moment. And then I think to myself, I don't even know if what I'm terrified of, they're scared of. I don't even know if they are as engaged with themselves and the truth of the world that we're in, that they could even feel this pain if this did happen, and that they might just find a way to justify it the way that the fake Ola and the fake Amina just tried to justify and minimize.
Janessa, we need to go.
Do you want to find out? I could help you find out what their nightmares are.
You probably could, but I don't care what their nightmares are. If I cared about anything they had to say, I wouldn't have spent the last 3 years not talking to them. Go away. Just go away.
You say go away. And as you say go away, you start to hear Romero in the background, realizing that the area around you is darkening and starting to feel tight and constricted. And you say go away and you try to resist this. I need you to make a TN 8 physical resistance test.
I got a 4, a 7, and an 8.
You feel cold as whatever this thing that is talking to you, that is trying to appeal to you, and you say no. You feel something cold as it tries to hurt you, but you are able to pull away. Romero, you see Janessa pull out of this dark cloud that had formed around her.
And so I kind of take Janessa's hand and walk with her back to the cafe.
When we get to the door of the cafe, I don't even pause. I push straight in. I am mad right now. And I march right up to the counter. And I say to the barista, excuse me, where's this fucking seal that we're supposed to be finding? And I would like to use my social butterfly skill to exchange 1 stress to get this person to compel this person to give me information that they would not have given me otherwise, or speak when they otherwise would have ignored me.
You walk into the cafe, and it is empty, except for the figure behind the counter, and you slam the counter, and a person with features that seem familiar but don't seem familiar turns around and looks at you. And they say, I'm sorry, but you don't have a full party. We like to serve everyone at once.
Okay. So that doesn't answer my question. I didn't ask for you to serve anyone. I said, where is the seal? And I kind of like lean forward on the countertop, like pressing down with my hands.
This person's eyes go dark and flick over to the bright orange sign with flowery lettering that says, "Love has a home here." And they turn back to you and say, "Your order will be ready when all members are present."
I look at the sign and I try to snatch it off the counter.
You go to take this sign. Ooh. Okay. And as you touch it, alone by yourself, there is a sharp, cold pain in your heart. It reminds you of the cold that you felt outside right before you pulled away from whatever was talking to you. And you take 3 psychic stress. And you have a choice. You can keep holding on to this sign, or you can let it go and try something else.
I think I reflexively drop it. I'm like, fuck.
The sign stays on the wall, and where it had become a little bit crooked, it swirls with just a hint of darkness behind it and rights itself so that it is perfectly aligned where it's supposed to be. Love has a home here.
I think I pause. I'm going to take a deep breath. Okay. I can't fly off the handle. We're okay. We know what it is. Okay. And I turn to Romero and I'm like, all right, we have to get the others here. We can't. This has been a lot for me, but I can't lose focus. And I'm going to use my total recall ability. It says, when things are at their darkest, remembering who you are and what you stand for can be the difference between life and death. Once per day after you lose stress, you can regain stress equal to the amount that you lost. So I'm going to use that ability to regain the 2 stress that I just lost.
As you do that, we are going to shift our focus. Ruin. Alexis is still at the table. Both of their ears are bleeding. As you hear Kevon say, maybe one day you'll have a connection to like your human emotions, but I just can't be with someone who's so guarded. I need a woman who can take care of me and who's able to relate. You're just not emotionally intelligent enough.
That's wild. I think Ruin is like, holy shit, no wonder y'all fucking did not last. This is how the conversation like actually went. This person really fucking sucks. I should have been on top of that nigga instead of fucking Alexis.
You realize in all of the years that you have been with Alexis, you don't know how this conversation went.
Yeah.
She's never told you.
No, she really hasn't.
The floor beneath you is burning, and you hear the conversation over there. You did hit Kevon, but Alexis is so consumed by that conversation that it didn't work. You are burning, and Alexis is dying.
Panic begins to rise in Ruin, and I think they get a little choked up at seeing like the blood dripping from Alexis' ears. And they look back towards like the barista, towards Nyx, and the shadowy like 8-foot tall being, is that gone?
Gone. There's no barista. There is no demon that you can see now.
But it's the thing that is left though is still that plaque of like, what did it say? Home is where the heart is or something like that?
There's a bright orange piece of art above next to the register that says in flowery letters, "Love has a home here."
And it looked different when Ruin was in their own.
It was yellow before.
Okay. Ruin will use their hellish projectile. Like they turn, I think they like had that encounter with Nyx, is like squirming on the floor because they are in like their Gorgon form, so the bottom half has become like a tail, and so they sort of wrap themselves around or like slither up like a shelf to kind of just hold on to so they don't burn on the floor, and then looks back to Alexis, still seeing that Alexis is stuck in this thing, and they are just feeling that panic like, okay, I know this isn't real, what is different? I got out of it because I guess addressed my shit, maybe, but Alexis is clearly having a hard time with that. So that's why they were like, well, let me just attack this fucker. And then this 8-foot tall motherfucker started burning the floor and shit. They're like, okay, that didn't work. I would have used my hail attack on the sign to try to break it. I think that's where Ruin is at right now. They're like, I have to try to break whatever. I have to break the matrix.
It's a sign on the wall. It's like a TN5.
Okay, well, that's my highest die that I rolled. I rolled a 5 and a 3 and a 2.
Okay. You hit the sign and a hole burns in it, and then it just knits itself back together.
Oh my fucking God.
And you see out of the corner of your eye, there's a dark cloud of wisps forming around Alexis now. She's gone from being sad and sullen and heartbroken to there's anger in her eyes. And you hear her raising her voice. Fuck you, motherfucker. I'm not. You think I'm emotionally unintelligent? Are you kidding me? You're the one who couldn't say I love you for the longest fucking time and who's running away like a scared little boy. Fuck you. Maybe you're the one who should fucking hurt. And the darkness around Alexis starts to hug him, wrap around her a little bit more as she rages and contemplates the idea that maybe it's Kivan who should hurt.
Jeez. Okay, question, GM. I have an ability, with my Gorgon aspect, it can render inanimate objects brittle and easily breakable.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think I'd be able to use it on the sign to easily break it?
You could try. Yeah.
Or like, even if I can't break that, like this shadowy essence, like
that is not inanimate.
Okay.
That is not inanimate at all.
If that is a part of the demon and I can see it.
You know it is.
I think I'm going to attack that. I think I'm going to, let me see. It says, for as long as the aspect is activated as an advanced action, the demon can make an attack roll that deals damage in the form of action tokens instead of stress or grip. Okay. Ruin is panicking and it's like, hitting Kivan didn't work. This sign isn't working. And I feel like they know Alexis well enough to know like that Alexis could continue to further dip into like this line of thinking of like maybe you should be the one hurting like instead of me. And Ruin will try to they will like slither over. They will like go on like the hot floor and slither over and just get onto the table. 2 grip? Okay. Oh my God. We both might die at this point. Okay, so I'm at 6 grip now.
You're real close to halfway.
I know.
Okay.
Okay. I rolled a 10, an 8, and a 3.
Yeah. What are you trying to do?
Almost like breaking chains around Alexis. Like that is similar to what Ruin wants to do. They want to break Alexis away from these like shadowy tendrils beginning to hug him.
Describe to me that scene. How do you get Alexis away from this greater demon?
I think Ruin is desperate at this point. When they first tried to touch Alexis, they couldn't. And I think they slither up to try again. They reach out like with both of their hands, almost to sort of like pull Alexis into a hug, like pull Alexis away out of the seat and out of this individual's grip. And voice positively trembling, Alexis, this isn't you. You don't have to stoop down to this. I know you're hurting. I know you're hurting and I'm sorry.
As you are pulling Alexis away from this thing, Alexis looks at you with black, abyssal eyes, and out of Alexis's mouth, in the same emotionless tone that Nyx had, says, "It's okay. You were just doing your job." And you pull her away and her eyes uncloud. And Alexis blinks and fucking finally and looks at you, tear-stained face, blood running out of their ears, and she says, "What the fuck is this?" And then it is dark, and you are floating. And then your feet are on the floor, and you are outside, and it is a bright afternoon day, and you're in front of a modest shop with a kind of plain sign that says, "Build Coffee." Alexis is there looking around. Fuck. Ruin?
Yeah, fuck. I almost lost you. Are you okay?
No. But we need to... What the fuck is this? Where is everyone else?
And like looking around, do we see anybody else? Do we see the group?
Roll for me.
Okay. I got a 6. That's my highest, and the other 2. It's a 2 out of 3.
Okay, hold on. I will roll for Alexis. Also only a 6. Okay. You are both outside, and you currently don't see anyone, but you do see that they're Alexis looks around and says, "No, maybe they're inside."
Ruin is still like holding on to Alexis's, especially like Alexis's hands, maybe a little bit too tightly, and says, "I'm scared if we go back in there, I might not be able to reach you again."
"I'm scared if we stay out here, we'll never get out."
That's a fair point. And like still holding onto Alexis, Ruin will step into the coffee shop.
Janessa, Romero. What are the two of you doing?
Hey, Janessa. 2 things. 1, are you okay?
I am not okay, but I will be. Now we know what we're here for. We just have to find Ruin and Alexis.
Maybe. Right. So I think I'm going to go check outside. We don't see them in here, and surely they would have found the reset by now.
The bell above the door chimes, but no one walks in.
Hold my hand.
I grab Romero's hand. I think we've all just been like in overlapping versions of the same place. I think they're here. We just have to figure out how to talk to them.
I'm glad you agree. I'm going to take like 2 steps toward the door.
Okay. I need everyone here to roll me a intuition check or its equivalent.
Highest is a 9.
Ruin. Something flickers. You walk into the shop. The shop is fairly empty, actually. But there is a red sign on the wall next to the counter by the register. And in flowery letters, it says, "Love has a home here." And as you look over towards that sign, by the counter, just steps from you flickering, could swear you see Janessa and Romero. Alexis grips your hand and says, "Is that them?"
I think so.
Romero, Janessa, you take a step forward. What did you both roll?
I rolled a 9.
I got 2 2s and a 6.
Okay. Romero,
Mm-hmm.
you take a step forward and towards the door where the bell had chimed, and you see facing towards you, looking at the wall behind you, or maybe looking at you, Alexis and Ruin.
Okay. So, a lot like I did with Janissa just a moment ago, I am going to try to, reach out to Ruin.
Ruin, Romero is reaching out towards you.
Ruin reaches out at the same time, still holding on tightly to Alexis.
Alexis reaches out with their other hand as well. With 9s, you feel Romero's hand in yours. Romero, you feel Ruin and Alexis gripping your hand and wrist, respectively.
Okay. I think we're all here. Hi. Welcome to hell, I guess. We have to go get the sign. We need to go get the sign.
Wait. What's Janessa doing? Because Janessa did not see them.
Janissa is holding on to me at the moment.
Okay. So you all link, and Romero, Janessa, you are pulled into a coffee shop. It's largely empty, and it is a bright, warm afternoon, sunny day, and the counter above it, near the cash register, is a red piece of art, and in flowery letters it says, "Love has a home here."
Okay. First of all, everyone hold on. Second, I'm gonna go try to grab the sign.
I think as I see Romero start towards the sign, I use my other hand to stop them, and just remembering how it burned me with that cold before. And I look at Ruin. Can you do that thing where you just grab it the way you did with my phone the other day? Because that shit hurt the last time I touched it.
Sure, last time I tried to fucking get rid of it, it just repaired itself. And Ruin will use their manipulate objects ability to bring the sign. I feel like we're in a half circle right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they bring the sign to be before us.
Ruin, you alone go to use your powers in order to grab the sign, and it floats off the wall and comes towards you, and then when you go to grab it, there's nothing. There is, however, on the wall next to the cash register above the counter, a red sign with flowery letters that says, "Love has a home here."
God fucking damn it. And I'm gonna start yanking the daisy chain of everyone over to the counter again, and I'm gonna reach up physically and try to rip it off the wall again.
While they're doing that, Ruin clocks this isn't not going to work. And they look at Alexis.
Janessa, you pull everyone with you and you reach up on your own and you grab the sign and you take 2 harm as it burns your hand, adjusts itself, and there's a red sign with flowery letters that says, "Love has a home here," above the counter next to the cash register. And the words of the barista that you convinced to not ignore you echo, "We like to serve everyone. Your order will be ready when all members are here."
I look at the cashier.
There is no cashier.
Is there a barista here?
No, this shop is empty. There is a red sign with flowery letters. Above the counter next to the cash register, a piece of art with a red background that says, "Love has a home here."
What the fuck?
Romero, you had also heard what the barista from the previous iteration of this coffee shop, when that sign was orange, you heard what they said too.
Things will be ready when everyone's here.
We're all fucking here. So what? Who's missing?
We're not all here. How did you all get out? By talking your shit through?
Here. Let's try this. I think you tried to grab it. You tried to grab it. That only leaves two of us who haven't tried to touch it. Can all of us just try to reach for this at the same time? I don't know. Is this a group effort? Do we need to give the sign a hug collectively? Maybe?
I mean, we're all holding hands. Did that not count? You know what? Whatever. And let's just do it. And I just turn back to the sign. I look at everybody. So like on 3?
On 3, I guess.
Each of you take a corner.
1,
2,
3.
And together, the 4 of you lift this sign off the wall, and the coffee shop shimmers, and there is a cracking in the air as it glitches and glimmers. And then you are all standing outside. It is a warm... No. Wait, it's not. You're all standing outside of a modest coffee shop in the middle of the night, and there is a surveillance camera pointed directly at you. And then you notice there's another surveillance camera down the street, and there are more hanging off of every building and every light post. It's dark. It's supposed to be dark. It's orange, like the daylight has been. But the sky is brighter than it should be, and it's oranger than it should be. And there is still the sound of smoke and salt water in the air. And there are still weird plants coming out of the green places and taking over the trees. And there are missing posters on the poles. How long were you gone? And that is where we will end this episode of Woke Mental Wellness Presents Windy City Nihilism. Thank you for listening to Woke Mental Wellness Presents Windy City Nihilism, a 12 Inner Demons homebrew podcast. This podcast has been made possible in part thanks to a grant from Diversity Saves. Episodes are edited by Marissa Ewing of Hemlock Creek Productions. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a review and tell your friends. If you want to help financially, you can visit the Woke Mental Wellness Ko-Fi listed in the show notes. Take care, and remember, hope and resistance do best in community.